What's up, everybody? Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on Space Engineers. Back on the Elite Sleepless Station project, as it's tentatively named. So I actually recorded an Elite Dangerous episode after I did the last episode for Space Engineers, and I noticed a couple of differences that I'd like to address. The first being this shape. While not bad, and we could use this, the problem I see, well, not problem really, it's more design-wise thing that I see, is that in Elite it's more of like a straight line down and over kind of shape instead of this octagon, not really an octagon, but you know, this kind of angled shape here. So I want to try with just maybe one of these edges to see if we can get the same kind of shape here. So let's do like two this way, and then maybe two with a three. I actually think I like this better. So even though it's a little different, we're not really copying. I mean, I had no intention of really copying them, so it should be 5. I'm mostly using it as a design thing, but if we see anything we want to change, I don't mind changing stuff, so okay. So I also might have been a bit incorrect with this guy as well. Not really incorrect, but one of the things that I noticed while I was playing Elite is there was a bit of a different way you could look at the station design, and that was instead of 4 diamond shapes with curves in this on the edges, you can look at it as 4 squares with pointed edges on each face. So that's what we're going to try here and see if we can come up with a better way of doing things. This is a very, very small version though, however. In fact, it would be something like this. I think. I don't know if there'd be that much. I think there is in this particular case. So let's do something like this. And this will just kind of be a mock-up design idea. So, I'm kind of doing the same thing, you might notice. But, from this point, instead of trying to make them a diamond and look at it as if they're this way, we're basically going to look at it like this, sort of. I'm not really explaining this very well, I know. It's hard to explain. Like, the ship, or the station design for Elite is really kind of odd. Like, it looks so simple, but the more you analyze it, the more it's like, it's really a strange thing. Not that you can't understand it, but it's hard to describe. It's kind of odd in that respect. So from this point, when you fill in all of this, instead of leaving it in a diamond shape, because see, if you look at it like this, it comes out a little differently than if you look at it as if they're squares. Actually, hold on a minute, I might have done something wrong here. I think I might have screwed that up. Hold on, I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I've been trying for the past like 2 hours to get this to work, and it just will not work. I cannot get the shape to work correctly. It has something to do with the corners, because the way I described it last time, where you have 4 squares on each side that all get a little corner edge, it doesn't work. Like, it's hard to it's very, very difficult to explain. So I'll do a theoretical here. So say this is basically the cube, right? Like, here's the diamond that we've been talking about, and then, like, that's the landing port. What we need to do, I was expecting it to be kind of like this, where you just, each face is another face, but that's not really what happens. What happens is you have kind of a shape like this, sort of. That it won't, that's exactly the problem. It won't do what I need it to do. I cannot get this type of block to be in the right situation, because it's basically angled like this. Like, the shape of this block is perfect, but it won't go to the right spot. And basically you've got one of these corners here like that, and then instead of like this one where you've got a face on each edge, it comes off of that corner and makes another face, so they're not flush with each other. And then you've got corners that fill in the gaps. So the only theory that I have currently is that it has to do with the size. That the size of the station is too small to accurately get the shape correctly, but if we built off of this scale, it could work. That's my current theory. And unfortunately, I won't know until we do it whether or not that theory is actually accurate or not. And we need to test something else out as well. I need to make sure... Okay, it is an odd number, which is good. It's, in my humble opinion, I always feel like it's a good idea to build stuff with odd numbers, because then you'll have a direct center point. So for example, 23. That's 23 blocks. So you know... Well, actually, hold on a minute. How many rows did I add just now? 6? I think this was a 1 stack. Okay, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Wait. It's from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that's weird. This must not be centered then. Hold on. Let's... See, the problem with doing evens is then you'll have to double up. You'll have to put two rows of blocks instead of 1 if you want to find your center point, which is really annoying in my opinion. Alright, now that we're back to square 1. So this is 17, which is an odd number. So what I mean by that is, so if 17 is the odd number here, you can go 8, and then you can go 8, and the 9th block in the center is your center point. So it's, and you have 1 center. That's the benefit to having an odd number build, is that you don't have to do you know, you don't have to do like two blocks to make it a center line. You can just do 1. Okay, and so this is 33. So I think 11? No. No. Let me see. Let me think for a second here. 16, maybe? And then 16? Yes. And then your 17th point is your center point. So that's good. We want to make sure we keep everything even. Or odd, I should say. So let's see, this is odd, so if we add an even number, it should stay odd, I believe. So that was 6. And that's 6, and so that should total... Oh. Well, that's not going to work for me. 29. There we go. Now, the only problem with that is we'll be off kilter. So let's not do it that way. I'm a little confused by that, to be honest, because if you're odd, like, what is this one again? Oh, wait a minute, we're not odd. How did that happen? Did I miscount? Oh no, I added a row. That's what it was. Okay. So let's add a row down here and then it'll square us back up. That's what it was. I was like, if you add one to each end and you were odd, you shouldn't be odd again. This is confusing. Okay, that's better. So let's add like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would make 6. Like that. And what I'm doing here is I'm trying to where am I at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Wait a minute. Oh, no, didn't go far enough. Let's see, from here we have 5. And from the bottom we've got 5. Okay, now on this end, let's add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's do the same thing over here. And what I'm trying to do is give it more room for the rotational section. 4, 5. Now that should still be odd. There we go. Okay. So that will make up our hangar door for the most part. And I may end up having to change this design because I have to be very honest, I really don't know if this will actually work or not. After as much time as I spent trying to get it to work, only for it to not even come close, I would be lying if I didn't say I'm a little nervous about it not working. Okay, so let's build this out like so. Where'd it go? Actually, hold on. That's not... We shouldn't do that. We should actually only build around this shape, to be honest. So, from here... we should do like this. And kind of model the shape until we get over here, and then we can hook it back around. Kind of deal. Nope. And I'm going a bit past it so that we have enough room basically for it to rotate without actually getting in the way, so that it can spin around without actually doing anything in the actual original shape that would interfere. What button are we using now? I hate that the buttons rotate for rotating the blocks. It's kind of irritating. Because you can never figure out what button you're supposed to be using. Or at least I can't. But yeah, I'm very concerned about the shape. We may have to... I'm trying to basically keep going with the project, because ultimately my theory is that if we can't actually match the Elite style of space station, then what we'll do is we'll just kind of make up our own that has the same basic principles of rotating around the main section of the station. Let's go from here, I think. Oh, come on. How did you lose that? Now, let's see. Actually went a little farther out and then did it? Is that what I'm doing here? And did I match this? I didn't even think about that, but I need to make sure this is lined up with this. Perfect. Okay. I don't really know how to measure this, to be honest. Alright, so it was right as the curve on here started. We matched the same, or just about as close as we could get. Okay, let's start from here then. So yeah, I'm not really real confident about the actual square pyramid-ish kind of shape that the Elite station has. It has me a bit nervous as to whether or not we'll be able to make that actual design and pull it off. Like I said, if it doesn't, we might just have to do a different design to it, but keep the same principle intact. And, I mean, I guess that's okay. I think I did from here? Okay, yeah. I think we're good. And then this part is 6 long. I use that as a measuring stick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And for this part, we can actually bring this out, and then wherever this meets, we can trim it, and that'll make things easier. Since technically we are dealing with the same ship. Okay, wait a minute. My controls got all funky on me again. I hate that I really feel like the buttons should just stay the way they are and not change depending on how you're looking at it. Like that. Just all of a sudden decides to be a different button. That's not really what happened here. There we go. That's better. I was like, something about this does not look right. Okay. And then we'll also put a landing gear here. I don't know if that's actually in the center or not. I don't think it is. I'm not even sure if the first one's in the center or not, to be honest. There we go. And I'm going to save it real quick, and then we're going to test out the spinning mechanics and see if this will work. Okay, so I've set up 2 gyros at the end here. So what I'm going to do is unlock the landing gear. There's no gravity in play, so it should just be the gyroscopes. They're both set for -0.5. The reason I did that is because they're both facing the same direction, and I kind of want them both to spin in the same direction. So, let's turn them on and just see how bad this goes. Okay, now the biggest thing that I'm looking for is whether or not it overlaps into the main hangar to where it would cause a problem with docking. That's kind of what I'm really looking for here, and it looks like it will. Right there. So we're going to have to buff that out, basically, and make it more of a circle shape. So these two edges here are going to need to basically continue. This edge is going to have to keep coming out, and then we'll do another 6 block over here and a 6 block over here. But overall, you can see the mechanic that the large ship is going to be what rotates, essentially. And then the inner part that's the actual station that doesn't go anywhere is the actual part... Now that's interesting. It's up over there, so it's almost like it's going this way in that it keeps moving. I didn't anticipate that, but I'm wondering if that's because of the shape or the location of the gyroscopes. That might have something to do with it. I'm not sure. Let's see if this other one does it here when it comes back up. But yeah, overall, that's the idea that we're going for. Now that the overrides are in play. It could have to do with the dimensions. I didn't think about it either. That this is the one where it started up here, so let's see if it goes back into place or if it's actually displaced in some way by the movement. Okay, see, that one's returning to where it started from. It didn't overlap, so it's something about the actual displacement that this is somehow longer than that one is, or something. So we'll have to play around with that, make sure our measurements are exact and everything next time. And if any of you have watched my Elite Dangerous videos and my Space Engineer stuff and understand what I'm talking about with the problem of the shape of the space station, do let me know if there's some solution to it. I even looked into mods, but I couldn't find any new blocks that were a different shape or anything that would make it any easier. But let me know what you guys think about the cornering and how you might do it, and if you have an idea, feel free to send a video or something, or a link to something if you've seen it done before, stuff like that. In the meantime, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace!